What is the main difference technically between a flat serve and a slice serve? And this video is for those of you who are having issues with your second serve or maybe just a spin on your serve in general. But before we take a look at this is my college team here in this Australian formation. That's Hashir about to serve, Singh at the net. And let's take a look at Hashir's first and second serve in normal speed. So here's a comparison video between Hashir's first serve here on the left, second serve on the right, and already you notice some differences, right? And here is Hashir's stance on the first and second serve. First serve, right, it's a little bit more neutral, while on the second serve, it's more closed, right? And what I suggest is to have your stances pretty much identical. Everything in your service motion should be identical, except for the swing path. You don't want to give everything away, right? Because here on the first serve, it just seems like he's going to go to the tee, go for this big bomb on the tee. And the second serve, this is what I actually prefer on both your first and second serve. I like this stance here, what Hashir did. And I like the way he has his racket closed there, while here it's a little bit opening up a little too early, right? Again, you know, this is a flat serve, right? On the first serve here, he's going for this flat serve, but again, you don't want to give too much of anything away. And so here's the main difference between the first and second serve. On the first serve here, notice that the racket will travel right after contact here. The racket will travel towards that center service line. And let's see the big difference on the second serve. When Hashir hits this serve, that racket is traveling towards the right. So on a flat serve, you need something that goes straight towards the box in itself, while on the second serve, you need spin, right? You need the ball to spin towards the right, so you get that racket to travel towards the right, and you will implement that spin. And the faster you move your hand, right? The faster you move your hand, your wrist towards the right, then you're able to spin that ball properly. And that's what you need on the second serve. First serve, you could pretty much do anything. You could go for big bombs up the tee, go for the body, right? You know, you have another serve. But on the second serve, you obviously don't want a double fault. You need that spin, and this is the way to get spin, is to have that racket traveling towards the right there. And I just want to show you this cool feature on my OnForm app where it superimposes two different shots. So we'll see both first and second serve on the same shot here. And as you can see already, that stance, right? They're very different. On the first serve, more neutral, second serve, more closed. But you could really see that racket travel a little bit differently, right? So as he goes up to this trophy position, notice that, you know, it's kind of opening up a little bit too much. Right, on the first serve, second serve is closed, which I like. I prefer that. And now you could really see the big difference with the racket traveling towards the right on the second serve, right? So here is the first and second serve, both at contact, and you could see the racket has just traveled towards that center service line on the first serve. Second serve, it's still in this upward trajectory, right? So big difference as far as the verticality is concerned. You know, very big difference. And so if you want to get that spin, you got to really curl that ball to the right. And let's check out the follow through here. Follow through is somewhat similar. On the first serve, he went a little bit towards the right, and the second serve going towards across his body. I like Hashir's second serve a lot better. He just has to find a way to get that first serve a little bit more identical to that second serve, with the exception, of course, to that spin, right? And you could also tell the returner has shifted a little bit towards the right. So you could really check out what's happening with your opponents here, right? First serve, he's pretty much at the corner there. Second serve, he has shifted towards the right there because he's obviously expecting that T serve. So, you know, this is the second time I believe that Hashir has served in this doubles match. So the opponent is figuring out these patterns there. So Very interesting, this type of perspective on this app, and you could really tell the differences on one shot. If you enjoyed this video, check out my website, coachadrian.net, where you can hire me as your tennis coach. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.